Tennis filled with gratitude. Alexa sets. Sights on Guadalajara, open Akron. Penury. Tennis sensation Alexa is leaving New York with a grateful heart expressing appreciation to the Filipino faithful who rallied behind her at the 2025 U.S. Open. She bowed out of the New York tilt in the second round after losing to Spain's Cristina Buxer 6-4, 6-3. But what would be remembered more is her first-round victory when she took on the daunting task of taking down world number 15 Claretors. Eala already made history when she made it to the main draw and emerged victorious in the first round. I feel so loved and so blessed. I felt all the positivity and the energy that they gave me. It was such a pleasure to play in front of them. They made me feel like I was home. So lucky, Eala said. She continued to make waves in the tennis world just months after the Southpaw defeated former Grand Slam champions Jelena Ostapenko Madison Keys and IG Swiatek. But the 20-year-old Eala knows she still has a lot to line, specifically her weapons inside the court. The takeaway is to never give up. That's always the mindset in every match. And that's why I was able to produce such a comeback. It doesn't always work, but you need to have that mentality, she explained. She was very smart and used her weapons well. For me, it's about growing mine, having more options, more tactics to pull out when needed. Eala has now set her sights at Guadalajara Open in Mexico, followed by the Sao Paulo Open W250 in Brazil. After that, she returns to Asia for tournaments in Beijing, Wuhan, and Hong Kong with a possible stop in Japan, all before a potential appearance at the Southeast Asian Games in December. Under the bright Manila sun, Alexa woke up the morning after her historic U.S. Open run, her phone buzzing with notifications, messages from family, fans, fellow athletes, and even tennis legends. She scrolled through each note of praise, but in her heart, she felt one word, echoing above all, gratitude. Gratitude for the countless hours on the court, hitting balls until her arms ached. Gratitude for her parents who sacrificed comfort and time to help her chase a dream that often seemed impossibly far away. Gratitude for every loss that carved resilience into her, and every win that reminded her why she fell in love with tennis in the first place. Now, with her racket freshly strung and her mind sharpened by experience, Eala's eyes are set on her next challenge, the Guadalajara Open Akron, one of the most prestigious stops on the WTA tours. Hard court swing, a rising star with Filipino pride, Alex Eala has become a beacon for Philippine sports. Her journey embodying a fusion of raw talent, discipline, and relentless ambition. At just 19, she's no longer just a young prospect. She's a force to be reckoned with, stepping toe-to-toe with some of the biggest names in women's tennis. Every time I step onto the court, she said in an interview, after her recent U.S. Open match, I'm not just playing for myself. I'm carrying the flag. I'm carrying every young Filipino who dreams of making it in a sport where we don't always have the same resources as the bigger nations. This sense of purpose is what fuels her. It's what pushes her through punishing practice sessions and quiet moments of doubt. And now as she prepares for Guadalajara, her focus sharpens not just on winning, but on evolving her game for the challenges ahead. Lessons from New York. The U.S. Open was both a test and a revelation. Eala showed flashes of brilliance in New York, her ground. Strokes fierce and her footwork electric. But she also saw where the cracks lay in her armor. Moments when nerves took over or when more experienced opponents punished the slightest hesitation. I learned a lot about patience, she admitted. At this level, every point matters. You can't Rush, you can't let your emotions dictate the match. It's about staying calm and adapting. Guadalajara offers the perfect stage to put those lessons into practice. The tournament is known for its unique conditions, high altitude, faster bowls, and thin air that rewards aggression but punishes imprecision. For Alex, it's another layer of the game to master, training with purpose. Back home, her training camp is buzzing with energy. Her coach focuses on refining her scythe, adding more variety and power to help her win free points, especially on foster courts. Her fitness regimen is grueling but tailored. Sprints for speed, resistance training, for explosiveness, and yoga for balance and mental clarity. Alex is one of the most dedicated players I've ever worked with. Her coach said she's hungry, but she's also grounded. She knows that talent alone isn't enough. It's the work you put in when nobody's watching that makes the difference. The road to Guadalajara, the Guadalajara Open Akron is no small tournament with a lineup often featuring Grand Slam champions and top-ranked players. It's both a proving ground and a launch pad for rising stars. For Alex, it's not just about the matches. It's about the atmosphere, the electric crowd, the vibrant Mexican culture, and the opportunity to test herself against players she once watched on TV. She remembers her first time in Mexico, walking through the streets and soaking in the colors, the music, the food. It's a place that reminds me of home, she says, smiling. The people are so warm, so passionate. I want to give them a good show. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is more than a word. For Eala, it's a philosophy, she writes in her journal daily, reflecting on the little things, the sound of a perfect shot in practice, a stranger's smile at the airport, the text from her grandmother wishing her good luck before every match. Being grateful keeps me grounded, she says. It reminds me that I'm lucky to be here, that I've been given opportunities that so many kids dream about, and because of that, I feel responsibility to work harder, to inspire more. This gratitude doesn't make her complacent. If anything, it sharpens her hunger. She knows that the journey ahead will be tough, that every step closer to the top 50, the top 20, and beyond will demand even more of her. But gratitude makes her resilient. It turns pressure into purpose. What lies ahead as she boards her flight to Mexico, Alexa isn't just carrying rackets and a bag of gay. She's carrying momentum, lessons, and an unshakable belief in her growth. Guadalajara represents more than just a tournament. It's a stepping stone, a canvas on which she hopes to paint her next masterpiece. Fans back home in the Philippines are already buzzing, setting alarms to watch her matches live. Social media is filled with messages, Laban, Alex, and proud. No matter what, whether she lifts the trophy or bows out early, one thing is certain: Ella's journey is far from over. She is a story in motion, a young woman chasing greatness fueled by love for her country, her sport, and the game that has shaped her life. A final thought: in a sport where pressure often crushes young athletes, Alex stands out for her poise, her humility, and her vision for the future. She knows that tennis is as much about mindset as it is about mechanics, and she's learning to master both as the sun sets over Guadalajara and the stadium lights come alive. There will be a moment just before the first save where she closes her eyes, breathes deeply, and smiles. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share.